Good morning, Year 11. Today's objective is to know what meiosis is and to describe the key steps of meiosis. To start with, as always, I'd like you to complete the retrieval practice that is on this slide, please. Pause the screencast and have a go at answering the 10 questions. 5 from B1 from Year 10 and 5 from the learning that has taken place since September. Pause the screencast now, please. Okay, hopefully you've had a good go at those, so I'm going to go through the answers now. And please, if you've got a green pen, use a green pen to mark it. If not, just use your pen and mark what you've done, but make sure you write the correct answer in if you did get it wrong. Okay, number 1, what is glucose stored as in a plant? The answer is starch. Starch is an insoluble molecule, that's why it's stored as starch. Number 2, what are the reactants of respiration? The reactants are glucose and oxygen, and that's for aerobic respiration. Okay, number 3, if the image size is 5 millimeters and the actual size is 0.1, what is the magnification? So you should have done 5 divided by 0.1, which would give you 50. Number 4, if the magnification is times 1000 and the actual size is 0.0001 millimeters, what is the image size? Your answer should be 0.1 millimeters. Number 5, why would you not give a person with the flu antibiotics? You definitely wouldn't, because the flu is a virus and antibiotics are given for bacterial infections. Okay, learning from September then. What is a hormone? Easiest definition is a chemical messenger. Number 7, the hormone that causes an egg to be released is called LH, luteinizing hormone, but it's absolutely fine for you to just know it as LH. Number 8, what is selective breeding? Selective breeding is when 2 organisms are chosen because they've got desired characteristics and farmers breed them to get offspring with those desirable characteristics. But please remember, it takes many generations. Genetic engineering is when a gene is moved from one organism to another organism. And number 10, an advantage of genetic engineering is that it is a fast process, when actually selective breeding is very, very slow. Okay, hope you did well on those. Moving on to the next slide then. Before we move on to meiosis, I just need to find out what you already know. So, next slide, what do you already know? Pause the screencast and try and write down the answers to these questions. Okay, go. Okay, hopefully you've paused it and have a go at those. So number 1, what are the human sex cells? So you should have said egg and sperm, and the collective name for them is the gametes, which is going to be really important in what we're doing today. Number 2, how many chromosomes are found in each sex cell? 23. How many chromosomes are found in body cells? 46. What is fertilization? It is when the egg and the sperm meet. And number 5, chromosomes are found in body cells in pairs. Where is each pair from? Each pair is from, one is from the mother and one is from the father. Okay, right, so just to reiterate what we're doing today, we're going to find out what meiosis is and describe the key steps of meiosis. Just wanted to share this image with you though, to keep in mind. You might want to jot this down onto paper or print it off if you've got a printer. So women have eggs, men have sperm. There are 23 chromosomes in the nucleus of the egg and 23 chromosomes in the nucleus of the sperm. Now, that is so that when fertilization happens, a zygote is made, which has got 46 chromosomes in. So it's the 23 plus the 23. And then all body cells moving on from there will have the 46 chromosomes. But obviously, when it gets to a point where a female makes eggs, or a male makes sperm, then they need to make cells with only 23 chromosomes, which is precisely what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so moving on. Normal body cells are known as diploid cells. Please jot that down. That means that they contain 2 sets of chromosomes. Now that is important in what we're talking about today, but we're actually talking about how those diploid cells make haploid cells, which are the egg and the sperm. So meiosis is a type of cell division, and this division, this type of cell division, allows the body to produce the gametes. So last year in year 10, you should have done mitosis, which is how the body produces new body cells, skin cells, and other cells. But this is how our body produces sex cells. So how boys make sperm and how girls make egg cells. Okay, so just a little bit of a true or false checkpoint. Pause the video and just write true or false down for these statements, please. Okay, hopefully you've all had a go at that. So, A sperm cell has 46 chromosomes. That is false. It has 23. B, a body cell has 46 chromosomes. That is true. C, an egg cell has 23 chromosomes. That is also true. And D, when the egg and sperm join, this is called fertilization. That is also true. So please keep those facts in your mind ready for the rest of this lesson. Okay, so we're now going to look at meiosis. Meiosis is a type of cell division that produces sex cells. So meiosis will happen in the ovaries and meiosis will happen in the testes because it is where the eggs are made in the ovaries, it is where the sperm is made in the testes. So meiosis happens in the male and the female reproductive system, specifically the ovaries and the testes. Okay, it would be really useful for you to either print this diagram off or just jot it down, draw these images so that you can write the stages down of what is happening. Okay, so you will know that there are 46 chromosomes in a body cell. Now, we can't draw 46 chromosomes in a cell because it'd look very messy and it would take a long time. So we're just going to represent the chromosomes as one pair. Okay, now what's happened automatically in the top of that diagram, where I have got the cursor now, okay, the chromosomes have been copied. So each of the chromosomes, the blue one there, that could be from the dad, and the pinky coloured one there from the mum, they've actually become an X because they have made a copy of themselves. Okay, so DNA replication has occurred, they've made a copy. That's the first key point. Second key point is that the chromosomes actually then line up on the equator, and as you can see here, they're crossing over. Now, the reason that they are crossing over is because they are swapping pieces of DNA. Now, what that means, it means that variation occurs. So the swapping of the DNA allows a variety of sperm or eggs to be made, and it means that every single sperm and egg that are made are different. So that's a really important stage. Okay, what then happens is that if you look at here, look at this stage here, one chromosome that's made a copy of itself goes into one cell and the other chromosome goes into the other. Now that is what we call meiosis 1, or it is what we can call cell division 1. So one of the chromosomes has gone into one cell, one chromosome has gone into the other. What then happens is meiosis 2, which is cell division 2. And that chromosome that's made a copy of itself now splits in half, and we end up with one chromosome in that cell, one chromosome in that, one in that, and one in that. And what you can see is that they are all genetically different. Okay, so we've got a diploid cell here at the top. These 4 here are called haploid cells, and they are all genetically individuals. They are all genetically different. Okay, now some key points about this that I'm going to reiterate now. For males, this happens in the testes. For females, this happens in the ovaries. There are 2 cell divisions. Cell division 1 happens here. Cell division 2 happens here. The 4 cells that are made are all genetically different. Okay, so please, if you need to, put the screencast back a few minutes and listen to this again, but get the key points about meiosis written into your books. Okay, so moving on, just a little checkpoint for you. Please remember that this is just a representation. So when I'm asking these questions at the right hand side here, please make sure you're thinking about human cells. So how many cells would have been in the body cell at the start? how many cells would be in the, we call them daughter cells at the end. Okay, so pause the screencast and answer these couple of questions, please. Okay, so there would have been 46 chromosomes in this cell at the beginning, and it would have doubled to temporarily make 92. Therefore, if we end up with half the amount at the end, we are ending up with 23 in this cell, 23 in this one, 23 in this one, and 23 in that one, which is the correct number. Okay, because it means if these are eggs, they can then go and make the sperm to make 46. Or if they're sperm, they can go and meet the eggs to make 46. And the second question, what is the name of the cells that are produced? We call them, well, they can be called haploid cells, and we can also say there are 4 daughter cells. Okay, so we've got a diploid cell at the top with 46 in, and we've got 4 haploid, because the number is halved, at the end, and we can call those daughter cells. Okay, right. Make sure if you, I know that is quite a difficult concept, but make sure if you need to, you have a listen back and go over it again and write extra notes. Okay. Okay, now this is a little video clip, cell division by mitosis and meiosis. If you Google this, you will be able to find this video clip, and it will help you to revise mitosis and meiosis, year 10 and year 11 work. Okay. Okay, little true or false for you. So please pause this clip again and answer true or false. If you want to write the statements out, you can do, or if not, you can just write true or false. Pause the screencast now. Okay, hopefully you did pause that. So meiosis occurs in the ovaries and testes. That is true. Meiosis produces cells with 23 chromosomes. That is also true. Part C, the first stage of meiosis involves the DNA being copied and the chromosomes lining up in the middle of the cell. Okay, now part of that is true because it does involve the DNA being copied, and the chromosomes do line up, so the second part is true, but you would also say as well that they cross over so that the DNA is swapped. Okay, so we could add a little bit more to make it a more truthful statement. D, a zygote has 46 chromosomes. That is also true. And each daughter cell produced is genetically different. That is also a true statement. Okay. Now, obviously, you can, if you need to, look back at the different parts of this screencast, which would be absolutely great. But I will also be providing you with some meiosis exam questions. So please use the information on this screencast to have a go at those questions. If you have any questions or you need any support, please email me at g.jones2@smirchers.com. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.